Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini over at GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. This week I want to actually talk about Pokemon, which, if you're a regular viewer, you know I sadly have gone off of Pokemon over the years, because it was Pokemon's 20th anniversary, and they had a big event at Nintendo New York, which unfortunately I was unable to attend, although I don't recall getting an invitation from Nintendo, so I probably could have gotten in as media anyway, but I don't know if they had a media check-in or anything, because if not, then there was no way I was getting in, because I was following them on Twitter and seeing that they were talking about how, you know, oh, we're sold out of badges for this time. I mean, not sold out because it was free, but they've given out all their badges for this time slot, and they've given out all their badges for that time slot, and they eventually just had to, like, turn people away because there was just no room. Because, I mean, the store is already, like, crazy crowded, and you, I think, probably have to wait in line just to get into the store. When there's an event like a Pokemon anniversary, then forget it. That's going around the block, that line. So, I'm glad I was otherwise engaged that afternoon. Although I did see some pictures of giant Pikachus running around in Brooklyn, and I think that if I had seen that with my own two eyes, I probably would have just died of joy on the spot, because it's super cute and adorable. But thinking about the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, it makes me feel really old. But I already am old. So, I actually went digging through some old game cartridges to see if I could find my old copy of Pokemon Red, but I couldn't find it. My husband thinks I might have traded it in. I don't feel like I would have traded that in, because that's, I don't know, I feel like I would have kept that, but I can't find it. I'm not sure where it is. But I remember Pokemon Red, I remember loving it, and I remember actually, sitting on the front porch of my grandparents' house in upstate New York and finishing it. Like, I remember sitting on the front porch. It's the weirdest memory to just have lodged in my brain. But I had this sense of sitting on that front porch in the summer, on a beautiful day, playing my Game Boy, and finishing that last fight and being like, oh, I won! Because the Pokemon games are wicked long, so the fact that I actually finished it was like, whoosh, mind-blowing. So, that was very exciting. But weirdly, when I went back and looked for my Pokemon Red cartridge, like, I found Pokemon Sapphire, which was like, okay. But then I realized that makes sense, because that's a Game Boy Advance one, so, like, I'd never got Pokemon Yellow or any of that, like, but when they switched to the Game Boy Advance, I would have bought the new one, because, oh, it's a new technology for the new system, let's see the improved graphics, and they'll change the gameplay, whatever, it'll be like, this will be a slightly more new game, you know, as opposed to just another game on the same system, which will just be more of the same, usually. Because that also explains why I have Pokemon Diamond for the DS. Because that would have been the first DS Pokemon game, and I would have said, oh, let me try it on the DS and see what new things they've added to it, and maybe it's fun. I also have Pokemon White, which was actually given to me by Nintendo, because I wouldn't have bought that, because it wasn't as much of a upgrade, you know, so I wouldn't have probably got that on my own. And then, of course, I have Pokemon Y. I did purchase Pokemon Y because it was the 3DS, and it was supposed to be all new and in 3D, and I was like, yay! Unfortunately, I was sorely disappointed with Pokemon Y because the 3D, it's not in 3D until you go into a battle, and then it's just minimal 3D. And I'm just like, really? Is the game that taxing on the 3DS hardware that you can't have it in 3D, like just moving around the screen in 3D? Come on. That was disappointing. I also, I actually just checked before I sat down to tape this week's vidcast. I actually turned on Pokemon Y for the first time in like forever to see how far I'd gotten, because I didn't remember getting very far in it. And just looking at the save file, I didn't actually load up the game or anything, but looking at the save file, I had 2 badges and I had played for almost 13 hours. Which is a long time to only have 2 badges, but I don't know. And there's a part of me that's like, go back, try playing it again. But then there's the other part of me that's like, no, because every time I've tried a Pokemon game, it's the same game. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. Like, I feel like they tweak the gameplay and they add, like, new stuff, and they add new Pokemon, and they add the ability to breed, and they add shiny Pokemon, and they add Mega Evolutions and all this stuff. But at its core, it's the same game every time. You walk around, you go from area to area, you fight the gym leaders, you earn your badges, you get your Pokemon, you build them up, and it's, I don't know, it's just sort of, it's the same thing. And, you know, I don't know, I just sort of, I would like something different, maybe? I don't know. But then I feel like if they did it different, it might not be, like, as popular, because people want. Obviously, Pokemon is still huge, they still like this, so it's just me that feels like, I don't need to play it, because it's basically the same game again. Although I will say that I know some people who have downloaded Pokemon Yellow onto their 3DSs from the eShop. I don't actually know what they're getting for it, maybe $10, $15 maybe. I'm sort of slightly tempted to do that, because I feel like going all the way back to the beginning and playing like Game Boy style Pokemon on my 3DS, that might be okay, because there it's at its purest form, and also those are the Pokemon that I know. Like all these new Pokemon, I don't know who any of them are. There's like thousands of them now, and I can't keep track. And I think that taking away the thousands of extra Pokemon and the Mega Evolutions and the shinies and the breeding and all that nonsense that's been added to the game over the years, and just going back to the purest Pokemon game experience, maybe I might like that. Or I might start playing it and being like, no, it's the same game, I'm just going from town to town and fighting the gym leaders, and it's kind of whatever. I don't know, it's just, it's sad. Because there's also the part of me that kept wanting them to make a console Pokemon game with, like, proper 3D polygon graphics and, like, you know, like, not an overhead perspective, you know, not first person, but, like, a third-person perspective Pokemon game where you're walking around and it's more real-looking and it's more of an experience as opposed to, you know, the portable game. But obviously, they want Pokemon to be a portable game. Like, the core Pokemon games are only on portables. The consoles are for, like, the fighting games or the whatever. I will say that I am disappointed that they still have not done anything with Pokemon Snap. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I know other people who also like Pokemon Snap. So, it's not just me. And, I mean, a friend of mine said how he doesn't understand how it's not in the Virtual Console for the Wii U because it's perfect for the Wii U. And it totally is. Because you use the gamepad as your, you know, camera, and you can look around and everything, and it's perfect. I mean, you could also do it on the 3DS, because the 3DS also has gyroscope controls, and you can also go like that to take your pictures with the trigger as you aim. It's like, perfect. You don't even have to do a remake of it, although a remake would be super awesome. And I would totally get a remake. I would totally get a new Pokemon Snap game on the Wii U. But I will also accept just releasing it in the Virtual Console. I would totally get that. With no shame, I would buy that, like, in an instant. So, yeah. So I can't say I'm completely over Pokemon, because, you know, whatever. But happy anniversary to Pokemon. Here's to another 20 years of the same game over and over again. Sorry, no, that was kind of mean. I look forward to whatever they develop next. They've got Sun and Moon are coming, and there you go. I can't get hyped up because I don't know what they're going to do to it that's going to make it better than XY. And what they do make it try to change, I don't know if that'll be enough to make me interested in it again. We'll see. I just want the new Zelda game. Is that so wrong? Like, that's really, like, all I care about right now. Like, Nintendo's got all this stuff going on, but I got my blinders on, and all I am focused on is, I just want the new Legend of Zelda game. And am I going to be able to play it on my Wii U? Or am I going to have to buy an NX for it? That's a conversation for another day. So, I hope you enjoyed your Pokemon birthday party. And I'll see you back here next week, and I'll talk about something else. Bye!